Hello, all listeners of the Centralized Consciousness podcast. This is Sama Kataro speaking, and I want to share with you what has been happening with me in the last linear time that has passed. And this is that I have been transforming, similar like all of you have been transforming on your paths. And I've come to realize that I have been fighting my multidimensional nature by trying to translate all of my self or all of my experiences into concepts and words that people are able to understand on Earth in 2024. And it's been a battle of trying to remain some kind of persona that people can relate to in this world. But in my journey to seek deeper and deeper, so my mantra has been for at least 7 years, how can I connect to my purest source even more? So this has been my direction. This is something I've been saying many times every day for 7 years. And it's been shocking and disturbing to find out what really is in my purest source. And I've been doing less and less podcasts because the format has not been in harmony with what I have found inside of myself. I'm still here in the beginning trying to use concepts and words that rational minds are able to grasp, just as an introduction to the new format of the output that I'm currently enjoying more. And to give a linear explanation to this uncovering of my purest source, it was being able to speak in flow, being able to just remove the filters and allow the flow to speak through me. And this is something I've learned in these podcasts and in the courses and meditations that I've been leading. But in the background, in my meditations and in my alone space, so it has been more of direct experiences with frequencies and then doing sounds according to those frequencies and allowing sounds flow through me rather than words, which was like a continuation of removing those filters, because when we are still using concepts and words, we are still using those filters. It's like filters analyzing what people will be able to relate to with their rational minds, while sounds are more direct, with less filters. And as time went on, this also went into my body as I was releasing more and more traumas and more tension in my body. My body became fluid. So these frequencies not only flow through me as sounds, but these frequencies also flow through the whole body as movements. And this is sort of the fight that I've been experiencing of, like, why is my body moving so strange? And why do I keep on wanting to express myself with different sounds rather than words? And I couldn't find environments or platforms where these kind of sounds and movements would be transmitted to other people. But in the last few months, I've stepped into different environments and I found new people and communities where this was not only accepted but encouraged or celebrated, which have opened up much more of these kind of sounds and movements. And the podcast was still something I thought this will probably never be able to work on the podcast. Like, okay, what is done, and now it's a new chapter and new communities, new environments where this new me, or old me, because in a sense it's returning back to my child self, and all those movements and sounds that we all express when we first come to this world, and how to return to those frequency-based movements and sounds as an adult has been a tough one. And dedicating time each day, each week, where my body was able to move any way it wanted to, and I was able to make any sounds I wanted to. And coming to the experience now where if I go into society, it's like I have a personality and I do things according to the accepted rules, but every time I do that, it's sort of like my real selves start piling up. But when I have these times, like when I dedicate a week or two, or if I dedicate a weekend, and then I sort of start allowing this build up, and it's almost like a line of parallel existences, past life, if you so want to, they are my natural expression, but they are then suppressed when I go into society. So when I create the space and time for myself to be my true self, then it's this rewind. It's everything has to be played out that was pushed away. And when I do that, I come to this place where they come in one by one. So it's one after the other. And each has movements, each has sounds. And this is a process of remembering. So for each of these frequencies that I allow to flow through my system, it's a remembering of that existence. So when it flows through me, I feel how it was to be that aspect. And I remember that life. And so this is how my life has been for some time now, where I pile up the things that are coming back, the multidimensional self, and then I allow it free. And it's also something to do with some of these aspects or have connections with other people. So I can't do everything alone in my meditations. But some of these, or most of these aspects need to be communicated to certain people. It's like a community thing. It's like I can't isolate myself and do this process completely alone and then go out and be a contained personality and then back again. And maybe this message, this episode, or this recording is another step into community aspects to come out. So you're all familiar with the concept that everyone is our mirror. So this then means that we are all the projections. So we then have a lot of different aspects inside of us. And then when we live more and more inside out rather than outside in, we come to a point where we are not just one person with one perspective, but we are multidimensional beings. So how can we then expect us to continue to have one output when we are so much more? And this is being multidimensional. So in this series that I'm now starting, I will present other parts of myself, other parts of my node, other parts of my soul, as a step into becoming more multidimensional human on this planet in 2024. And it feels liberating to expand this platform in this way and just open up the door for whatever expressions of my multidimensionality that wants to be expressed. And sometimes I might tell a story about the sounds that come out, or other times the sounds can just speak for themselves. And if you have been listening to some episodes and maybe followed my journey through these 3 years of the podcast, it's quite a big difference from who I was in the beginning to who I have become. And this is just like the next step of that journey, which can open up doors for yourselves to discover your multidimensionality. So each of these sounds, whatever will happen here and in the following episodes, will act as activations for you, activations of your multidimensional self. And some people have been saying recently that the podcast has been going in a strange direction where it makes less and less sense for the rational mind what we are talking about and how we are talking. And in the last few episodes maybe, and this is because more and more of us are stepping into the multidimensional senses, and we are not so concerned with the rational mind anymore. So it's many of us that we have been communicating with the vibrations and frequencies. So it's more the feeling or the frequency environments, as we say, between us. So we can sit online or in person, and we don't have to say that much, because we are all experiencing the frequency environment or the energies flowing between us, through us and around us. And that says it all, or it says a lot, and then we can put some words on it. But the last year or so, it's just been a matter of connecting, maybe one of us guiding us into a deeper state, and then we come into that deeper state, and that's when we just experience reality with our multidimensional senses rather than the words and concepts that we use. We will still have some more rational content coming out on this platform, as this platform is decentralized. So anyone who feels like creating an episode or a series is welcome to do so. And anyone who wants to do something on the platform can do that in the consciousness that they are in, which will then speak to the consciousness of people of similar vibration. So we will have episodes, a series more on the multidimensional senses level, where the rational words, concepts do not matter, and then it will be episodes where it will be much less of that and more rational. And that can just be people are just drawn to do something, and that will then resonate with similar people to the people that created it. So that's what's an introduction, and we will now see who will show up here for the channeling of otherworldly aspects. Dia sentiromba, dia diara zombudi, dirembozo de rodaja, de gadori gendirogu, zero gunkuzi yaradunde, dira dunze dora jindi, dire dindio zondoya, darato jindi yaradanda. Zioro nunjindo wada shundidanda, diarandi zendora sandiandi jindinde, diara sandofa, dere dejindi dundoja, dea deja zonda, deam bandia dandunda, dea bambia dandaranja, dia danda goja dan, dia dandoja dandia danda, wufazindia gufa, goshindir, derantu, derishitten turakaja janaka. Taragajindia dam da koshin dire bafa, dire zetung goji rodaijon da gata, daijan da gurun dijam da rakajende, tirsan da jawaran da jiradung, tigun jadan, dajun da ya, darash tintishin da kushan da daitia. So that was the first guest, and just feel, observe what that transmission is activating in you. So it's your experience. Which is the only truth for you. Unnecessary concepts, words, categorizations will only distort your inner experience of listening to this. Take a deep breath in. As this is not about your judgment. This is not about your categories of experiences. This is just about your direct experience within your own energy body. So you can see these activations as a stimulus for your own inner journey and experience of what it is for you to be a human in 2024. So this has nothing to do with me. Your projections onto me are not relevant. Focus on your own experience as a human in 2024. As we go to our next guest. This was a song about the journey, because as multidimensional beings we have already been in the end. We have already experienced the goals. And the next thing to experience is the journey there. On Earth in 2024, we are still so focused on the destination. But as I said in the beginning, when these aspects line up, it's like the center is nothingness, and each aspect is a new experience. So why not enjoy each creation as it unfolds, rather than striving for it to end? One movement after the other, never repeating, but always new, always fresh. One sound after the other, never repeating, always new, always fresh. Life in flow, always new, always fresh. And what's coming to us from the outside, never repeating, always new, always fresh. Enjoying the ever-changing landscape. Your physical life is a dream, a low-density dream designed just for you, just for me. So when we slow down, center ourselves and connect, every event, every movement, every sound is